Hi there, Spellweaver community, and welcome to the Winter Holiday Fiesta 2018 update, as well as the December card release update. Happy holidays to every Spellweaver player out there. And as you all have noticed, if you have logged into the game, which obviously you should have done, then you know that, well, winter has not only hit in the real world, but also in Asperia. And what IFCO basically has done is we have the Winter Holiday Fiesta 2018, and as a little, well, yeah, a little early Christmas present for everyone, he gave us the new cards for December 2018, the last cards that Spellweaver is gonna receive this year. Definitely mark my words on that. But before we get to the fun, obviously, before we analyze, as we always do, each and every card that has been introduced to us with this update, we're gonna take a look at the Winter Holiday Fiesta 2018, which is obviously something that also the new players can benefit off of. And this has been posted on the 21st, so we're kind of a little bit late, but you know, of course, it's never too late for that. Welcome to our Holiday Fiesta. Spellweaver will treat you with spectacular gift boxes until January 1st, 2019. You will receive gift boxes by simply spending gold and crystals in the game or by redeeming special gift codes from your friends. Open your holiday gifts to uncover amazing rewards and collect coins from your gift boxes to earn even more items. But that's not all. 3 lucky players will receive a full card collection from our holiday raffle. Each of your coins gives you 1 entry in a special raffle that will be drawn in the start of January 2019. As I've stated, that's gonna be pretty awesome, obviously, for every new player. You have the chance, if you are one of the 3 lucky picks, to get a full card collection. So definitely participate in that. Just, you know, either like spend real money or spend in-game money on anything and collect the coins, and you're basically in. Of course, the more coins you have, the more, the higher your chances are. You will receive 1 gift box for every 25,000 gold spent, every 200 crystals spent, and every gift code you redeem. And the list of gift box rewards are 1 all heroic cards except heroes, 1 all epic cards, draft ticket, foil pack, the box, a hero pack you don't own, premium pack, 200 crystals, pretty damn awesome, random foil card, random rare or epic card you don't have the full number of copies of, a card pack that you don't own. I can vouch for that. That happened to me in the last Fiesta, actually. I think it was last year. Ticket, small pack, normal pack, good pack, or evil pack, 1, 2, or you can get 5 coins at once, which is pretty good. Warm holiday wishes and a very happy new year from the team. May the cards be with you. So that is the Winter Holiday Fiesta in 18. If you need more information, obviously you can click on the gift box on the bottom right. Here is my daily code, which is probably going to be expired when I upload this video. So there is that. And I already spent some gold, and I think they're gonna show up in your collection. I'm not too sure though. Yeah, there, 24 gift boxes. There we go. Oh, that's a pretty good animation, actually. And got 1 coin. Obviously, I have 23 more. We can't open all at once, which is a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna get to that, obviously, on my own time, because obviously we have. Do they even have the settings correct for the sound? Because the sound of the game seems to be pretty low. That was the wrong thing. Hold on a second. Okay, I guess I found it. And there is a problem. It's gonna be fun when I edit this. Alright, so, that wasn't the, was it a marketplace? I think it was the marketplace. Yeah, of course. There we have it. We have the December release package, which obviously I already purchased. Costs you 600,000 gold, which is the in-game currency, or 2,400 crystals that you can redeem or purchase right here. 2,400, sorry, would be a little bit less than 30 bucks. So if you want to purchase this that way, you can do that. You can also purchase foil cards, which would be 3 million or 12,000 crystals, which yeah, is about 120 bucks. Definitely not necessary, by the way. Okay, so let's go to the list of cards. Obviously, IFCO already leaked some cards beforehand in Discord, not all of them, and 2 cards have been also leaked on the master stream, and I think this is the first one that we go through. It's not only these 3 cards, by the way. We can switch the page, and as we can see, there are, number 1, there are no primary cards, but yeah, those are all the cards that have been introduced with the December update. So let's do what we always do and analyze these cards for about an hour, obviously. Let's go for the cards that have been leaked in the master stream before. The first one, I think it was the first one, was Angel of Retribution. Thankfully, it has nothing to do with Right to Hell Retribution, if anyone remembers that. This one is an Angel, obviously. Comes, or you can play this for 1 Order, 1 Rage, 2 mana. That's the first thing that I don't like, the Order Rage combination. I mean, because the thing is, if you play Angels, if you don't play mono orders, mono order angels, yeah, then you would probably play corrupted angels, I think it's called, with corruption and order, because there is the angelic emanation, I think it's called, the one that costs 1 order and 1 corruption. And so I can't, in case there are not more angels that have order rage, it wouldn't really make sense for angels to run this. Other than that, I can't really recall any other Order Rage decks from the top of my head. So, not sure where this card is being played. Definitely not for Mono Rage Rush, that's for sure. But, yeah, if someone comes up with Order Rage, might be a good addition. This one is a Flying and Lifebound, which is kind of the norm for Angels, so to a certain degree. It's a 3/2/2 speed, which is pretty good, and you might see, if this is a bug, no it's not. So, as you can see, this is a little bit, the stats of this card are not like, are a little bit in the background, a little bit faded, and there's a reason for that. When Angel of Retribution enters the field, it deals 2 damage to an enemy creature or hero. Anti-aggro, definitely. And of course, I can see this, yeah, of course, that's the whole thing of Rage, that they have spells and stuff that can basically go face with, like, Fireball and stuff like and whatnot, and basically gain board control pretty well, you know, also with Symbol of Fury, obviously, which can go face, with Fire Blast, Ruination, Detonate and stuff like that. They have pretty good, they have a good way of clearing the board, and this one definitely helps out. It's an Angel Invocation, by the way. And if you have 2 or less life at the start of your turn, invoke Angel of Retribution. Now, I'm not really sure how it works, but we can see it right here, invoke. Whenever 1 or more cards are invoked, select one of them and it becomes a creature. Put it onto the field under your control if needed. So I don't know if you can play this like right away, because it says when Angel of Retribution enters the field. So I haven't really looked into this at all, so I'm not really sure how invoke cards actually work now, because it's a pretty vague, it's pretty vague, the description right here, and we don't, as I know, there are no like really in-depth, there's not a real in-depth description of how invoke actually works. So I'm not sure if this is basically like Angelic Temple, that you put it on the field, which, you know, of course he comes in as an artifact, and then, you know, 2 energy it becomes a creature. Not sure if it works like this, like if you just put it on the field, obviously not as an artifact, but as an invocation, and then right when you have 10 or less life, it basically becomes a creature. And it doesn't state it right here, so I guess once it's invoked, which the only threshold is that you need to have 10 or less life. Once it is invoked, I don't think if you have 10 or more life that it goes back to the invoke state. Because that's how I think it works, that it doesn't come on the field as an artifact or anything else, but as an invocation, basically. Right now, there is no really way to get rid of invocations, but we get to that later. But, so, yeah, what I wanted to say also, when Angel of Retribution enters the field, so if it is invoked or if you play it. But I would assume that the 2 damage is right when you play it, basically. When you play it invoked. So I guess that's how it works. But yeah, 3/2, 2 speed, and with the own invoke thing that you need to have 10 or less life. Definitely pretty good, and I think invoke also is there to basically counteract not only Rage Rush, but any rush deck in general. That was the first card that has been leaked, and the second one is Dragon Assault, a card that I absolutely love. So this one is Rage Corruption, 2 mana, And it says, pay up to 4 life. Basically, you know, when you run invoke cards, it would also work. But so far, we have only seen one. Let's see if there's anything else that you can invoke. Dragon Assault deals that much damage to all non-dragon creatures, plus 2 additional damage for each dragon you control. Which is pretty damn awesome. So, what do we have as dragons? We have, of course, the... Let's check this, actually. Collection, right? So, cards. Of course, we have Car. That's for sure. So, for dragons, we have... No, she's not a dragon, obviously. We have the Alabastard Dragon, obviously. We have Car, the Deadly Flame. We have the Elder Red Dragon. We have a new card. Okay, Archibald the Wingless is also a dragon. We get to that later. And that's basically it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have 4 dragons, and only 2 of them are in Rage. One is Order, so you need to go like at least double color when you want to play Archibald. So Rage Corruption might become a thing with Dragon Assault, and maybe even Dragon decks. I have a Dragon deck. Obviously, it's mono Rage, so it only runs Car and Elder Red Dragon, because also Alabaster Dragon wasn't a thing back then. But I guess what I want to say is that we definitely need more dragons. That's for sure. Not only to make this card work, but because, you know, it has been there from the start, I think, for Spellweaver. So yeah, I would say we need a little bit more. But yeah, 2, 4. Wait. Dragon Assault pay up to 4 life. Dragon Assault did that much damage. Okay, so 4 damage to the entire board, which is basically a Cataclysm. Yeah, it's basically a Cataclysm in this case. And you can play it early game, because there are no really creatures out there. And I think this is also, by the way, again, to counter rush decks. Because what rush decks do, obviously, is they gain board presence early on, and then they just want to smack the whole board. They would just want to smack you in the face all the time. And what rage decks don't have is card draw. And when they put all the cards on the board and you just drop Dragon Assault, it's gonna be pretty hard for them to come back, and then you have established a little bit, you have some cards in your hand, so Dragon Assault can definitely help you immensely. Not only early game, but obviously also late game. It's pretty good that it's Rage Corruption, and it's not like Rage and one random or 1 Corruption, 1 random, because it could get a little bit out of hand, I think, if you would like splash Order in this. You have to go triple color if you want to smash Order in there, and just go for life bound. That would be a little bit ridiculous if you ask me, but as it stands, 4 life, basically 4 damage to all non-dragon creatures, and late game, if you have like 2 dragons out there, maybe 3, let's say 2, that's more likely, 6 damage to every creature, but not to your dragons. Pretty damn awesome, I love this. Come on, my dears, it's time for breakfast from Raisha the Heartless. Pretty damn good. Those were the cards that have been leaked. Let's switch the page and let's go through this one by one. And by the way, if you just, you know, if I just take a quick glance of the cards, I did that yesterday as well. The artworks in this, my fucking god, the artworks are fucking delicious. Number 1, we have Woodland Revenant. And I'm gonna sound like a broken record, obviously, but the artwork is just delicious. It's Nature Corruption, so more love for Hate Bears, which is a deck, by the way, that I've played lately, and Hate Bears came back strong with the Plague Crabs, I gotta say. The Plague Crabs are awesome, and Woodland Revenant is probably gonna help with that. It's another invocation, a zombie invocation to be precise, and it's 1, 2, a zombie card with 3 speed. That's pretty interesting, obviously, and 1, 2 again deals pretty good with also 1 nature, 1 corruption, 1 mana. You can play this early on. Whenever you lose life or are dealt damage invoke Woodland Revenant. That's pretty good. So you can get it on the board pretty quick. And again, yeah, it seems like the whole thing that IFCO tries to do right now, or Meme Reactor, Dream Reactor overall, is to definitely diminish Rage Rush, which they have accomplished. If you look at the Masters deck list from Masters 31, obviously, then we saw that there is not much Rage Rush going on anymore, which is pretty good. But yeah, soldiers are still, of course, a pain in the ass. Dragon Assault helps against that, and maybe even Woodland Revenant. So if you have 1... okay, that's interesting. If you have 1 Corruption, 1 Random, which possibly is gonna be Nature, If you have 10 or less life, whenever you lose life or are dealt damage, invoke Woodland Revenant from your graveyard. If you have 10 or less life. So you have this card that can come back over and over again, and then you have the Play Crab that can get that is gonna come back as long as it has energy again and again. I like that. I like that. That's pretty good. So 10 or less life, or whenever you. Okay, that would be a little bit ridiculous, and of course if that would be a primary card, that would be pretty damn bad. But yeah, 10 or less life, and then you need to be damaged. You can invoke it. Pretty good, I like it. I don't think though if you are dealt damage, yeah, I think it's at the end of your at the end of the enemy's turn, because if the enemy attacks, like basically like guards, you know, if he attacks and then you can invoke it and then block with it right away, that would be a little bit OP, I would say. The question is also, obviously you have 4 copies. If you have 2 of that in the graveyard, can you invoke both of them right away? And I think they come back summoned, because if not, there could be some shenanigans going on. And right now, by the way, what I see is, obviously I play, again, I play a lot of Reign of the Underworld, and when you have Giara out, just imagine that. You have Giara out, and then the enemy attacks you, you are below 10 life somehow, and you invoke them. Obviously, that's the thing. You invoke them, they die right away. They are back to the graveyard. And then the other one triggers, and then that dies right away, because, you know, -1 for every non-spirit creature, which this one is not a spirit, dies right away, and you get another Enchained Soul off of that. That could be interesting. Maybe there are some cheese strategies even, but there are not really anything that comes to mind. It could be fun, however, with Duke. If you play Hate Bears with Duke, maybe like a little bit more zombie based, this one could be pretty good with the Duke, because, you know, you can get it back from the graveyard with the Duke, and then you can invoke it if you are below 10 life, because you have to pay 3 life to get Duke back from the graveyard. Also, yeah, I like it. Next one, we have the Sisterhood of Flames. Again, the artwork, my boys. Delicious. The only one that I don't really like so far is this. It looks good, but a little bit out of place compared to the other cards. Just like Namir's Blessing. That card also looks not as good as the other ones. Not that I could have done it better, obviously. Dragon Assault is on fleek, obviously. Love these dragons in the background right here. And yeah, this one also looks insanely good. So this one is Nature Rage. A lot of love for nature so far. Nature Corruption which is obviously Hate Bears. Nature Rage. Well, Shamans come to mind. Some people actually played that, but other than that, not really sure. I don't know why this is an elf, to be honest, because if you have an elf, then make it Nature Dominion, because there are Nature Dominion cards, or in Dominion has elf cards. Or was it fairies? No, it was elves. So yeah, make it that, because, you know, you can. That would make more sense to put it in Nature Dominion. At least if you go for like theme decks, like elves, like vampires, stuff like that. But yeah, this one is Nature Rage, 2 mana, so you can play that again pretty early on. Invocation again. Ranged, 2/2, 2 speed, solid. When Sisterhood of Flames enters the field, it deals 2 damage to an enemy creature. Okay, so a little bit worse than the Angel of Retribution, not only stat-wise, but also because it deals 2 damage to an enemy creature or hero. So this, you can drop this one basically for lethal. This one you can only drop for damage to an enemy creature. But you know, still pretty good. At the end of your turn, if you control a ranged creature control a ranged creature, invoke Sisterhood of Flames. Okay, so I get the invoke thing now. Most of the cards invoke themselves, or some of the cards that we have seen are invoked. Basically, all invoke cards need special conditions. The one that we have seen so far is that you have to be below a certain life threshold, which is 10 HP puzzle. This one, however, you invoke when you have when you control a ranged creature. And yeah, nature has a lot. Well, not a lot, but some definitely, maybe more than the other ones. And like Elf Tracker, stuff like that. Elf Tracker, Grove Sentinel is Grove Sentinel ranged? I think Grove Sentinel is actually ranged. Yeah, they have some good ones, definitely. And of course we have Fia Is Fia ranged? Yeah, Fia is ranged. Fia, also a card that for some reason hasn't seen any play in the last couple of decades. It feels like. But yeah, 2 damage to an enemy creature, pretty good. And yeah, invoke it if you have a ranged creature. Pretty good, I like it. And just imagine, by the way, the thing is, well, it doesn't matter too much. You can stupefy invoke creatures. For this one, yeah, okay, I have to see how if it comes onto field basically as an artifact, then it can't do anything unless it is invoked. I think that's how it works. And I don't know if you can target it. I mean, you can target the... I just mentioned it. The artifact that becomes an angel. Totally forgot the name now. Angelic Temple. You can stupefy the Angelic Temple before it gains the 2 energy, and then it's just an artifact that doesn't do anything on the board. Would work the same, obviously, with any of these, but still you have 1 trigger at least that goes off for 2 mana, 2 aspects, so there's that. But of course, Order is gonna see some play, I think, and Steel Nor Innkeeper gets more and more prominent and becomes more and more meta at this point, I think, for every deck that runs Order at this point. But yeah, the thing is, if you can actually target invocations, if they are not invoked yet. Invokeception. Next one, we have the Slave Hunter. Rage Dominion makes sense, because we have seen, at least I've seen Y'all play like target emblem based decks, and this one also, which is pretty good, because target emblem things is, or target emblem based cards, we haven't seen too much of that, so good to see that we have some love for this. 3/3 an Invocation Warrior with 3/3, 2 speed, 2 mana, 2 aspects. When you put a target emblem on an enemy creature, invoke Slave Hunter. Should be pretty easy with Rocky. Is he called Rocky? The Riot Instigator? Chakri Riot Instigator, right. But obviously that is late game, because he requires a little bit more mana, if I remember correctly. But you can also play, how is he called? Gruels? I think Gruels, the 3-speed lizard that Rage has. Or also the Flame Rune Warrior also gives target emblems, or the Altar. I don't know what it's called, the Rage Shrine that you have. That also gives you a target emblem, so it's fairly easy to activate him when you run like a target emblem based deck. When Slave Hunter destroys a creature with a target emblem during the turn Slave Hunter was invoked in, return that creature under your control as a slave. And this one has Dominion. So you invoke it by putting a target emblem on a creature. You put a Metabolic Overcharger, or if it's on the backline, how's it called? Grappling hook onto him and hook it to the front, and then just go face with it, because who can block a 6/6 2 speed? I like that, but yeah, okay, it could have been a little bit over the board, but since you can only return that creature onto your control the turn he was invoked in. Also, invoke doesn't have any how it's called, spellburn or cast burn. I'm not sure exactly how it's called. But, you know, the thing is with, again, I'm going back to that because it's the best example. If you have the Angelic Temple and you play it, and the same turn you play 2 priests, you can go face with it right away. Same with invocations, I think. If you play it and then hit the requirements right away, like for instance for the Angel of Retribution, if you play this as the turn you have 10 or less life, I think you can go face with it right away. Because otherwise, how are you supposed to kill a creature with a target emblem with Slave Hunter when you invoke him, but you can't go face with him right away, you know? Wouldn't work in the first place. So, yeah. Apparently, invocations don't have any kind of delay. They can they can attack right when they are invoked. I think. Okay. And again, by the way, artwork is pretty damn badass, obviously. And these fucking Christians are getting on my nerves. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. In just a second. Alright, so we have the Grim Abomination. Another card. By the way, the cards that have been leaked before in Discord, I think, yeah, they revealed the Slave Hunter. And they also revealed the Grim Abomination, which is Wisdom, a Corruption, and 1 random. So you can run this in the Wisdom Corruption thing that Dual, I think, overall came up with. And if my eyes don't deceive me, and apparently they don't, because I looked at it a couple of times now to actually confirm it, this one is a demon. I have seen the list of blue demons before. I've seen red demons, which make more sense, if you ask me. But Wisdom, Corruption, I think that would work. Let me check real quick, so that I actually got this correct. But I think it should work. Corruption. There he is. Yeah, it will work with Armin, Demon Overlord. 2 Corruption, 1 random, which in this case obviously would be... which in this case would be Wisdom. But obviously many people out there, they play the Demon Overlord just with Order because of Namia's Blessing to actually protect him, which makes sense. But maybe with Wisdom it could also work. The Grim Abomination. 4 mana, so it's pretty damn costly. Obviously 3 if you have a portal out. 5/5, 2 speed, insane stats. Heroes play with the top card of their decks revealed. Now it's gonna get interesting. If you pay 1 mana, a hero decays 1 card. If that card was a creature, transform Grim Abomination into that creature until the start of your next turn, except that Grim Abomination keeps its attack and HP. Okay. So, if that creature was flying, he is a 5/5 Sexibus, basically, that also gets the... That also triggers with the 3 HP that you suck from the other guy, I assume. If this... My god. You can... Oh! You can actually play this also in Reanimator. And then, my god, if you happen to discard like an Elder Red Dragon, you can basically just go with... Breath of Fire for this. You don't even have to pay the 1... Oh yeah, okay, you have to pay 1 mana to... Okay, so it doesn't work like with the airship, or airship explorer, as I like to call it. Even though, of course, that also requires you to go Wisdom Rage. Wisdom Corruption, sorry. But, yeah, you can also... Bezarok can also be a thing. You can transform him into Bezarok, and with 5/5, obviously, he has way better stats. You can make him an Entriel. Everyone gets Lifebound. He's a 5/5 2-speed flyer. That's pretty good in my book. Obviously, Entriel would be a 6/6, so that's a little bit of a downgrade. But still, Lifebound for everyone. Why the hell not? But also, that requires you to... okay, I was about to say, that also requires you that you need to hit a creature, but you can... That's another card that also lets you... where it makes sense to manipulate top deck, because so far, there is only Burning Rage and Niana, Legendary Storyteller, that actually require you to play a little bit with your top deck and to shuffle the top card of your deck around. This one is another one, which is definitely pretty good. And the thing is, well, a hero decays 1 card. So you can also go for the enemy deck, which is pretty damn nice. All right. So yeah, you can basically choose whatever creature you want to become with this guy. But of course, that's more of a late game card with 4 mana, and you have to pay one additional mana every time you actually want to use the ability. But other than that, 5/5, 2 speed, solid stats. This guy is gonna be a pain in the ass to deal with. Next one, we have Archibald, the Wingless. Also, pretty damn intense artwork right there. Archibald looks really damn cool. And, oh, it's an Embody creature. Embody wants to hold me. It's 3 mana, 3 aspects, 4/4, 2 speed, legendary, dragon, that you can embody. Don't like any of that. Whenever Archibald engages in combat with a creature, you may pay 2... I'm getting, how is it called? The Hydra? That goes like... Oh, that's a Nature Rage card, I forgot. The one Hydra that you can also embody, that's also Nature Rage, actually. But yeah, I get shades from that, where you can pay 1 mana to freeze a creature, or 2 mana to deal 2 damage to a creature. Fucking hate that card. Whenever you engages in combat with a creature, you may pay 2 mana to destroy that creature right away. So it's this fucking dude right here is basically deadly. Jesus. If you do, Archibald gains 1 energy. Use this power only during your turn. When Archibald dies, put a weakness emblem on up to X creatures where X is its energy. So, yeah, he's a little bit of a mana vacuum. But pay 2 mana to destroy that creature. Whenever Archibald engages in combat with a creature. So, you don't have to be the one that initiates the combat. It can also be the enemy attacking Archibald, and as long as the enemy has 2 mana, he can just outright kill that creature. Not the best stats, obviously. 2 mana is pretty good because, you know, as I said, it's gonna be a mana vacuum to actually be able to use this all the time. 2 speed, it's 2 corruption, 1 random. You could, and that's what I always think about, but no one plays it. You could splash nature in there and put Mantle of the Winds. I think that's +1 speed. Mantle of the Winds on him to make him a 3 speed creature, 4/4. Pretty good stats, obviously, but then also save up 2 mana to basically kill everything, because who can actually block a 3 speed creature? Not everyone. And yeah, when he dies, weakness emblems on up to X creatures. So you can also put it on your own. Not sure why you would want to do that. Obviously, for certain deck archetypes would maybe make sense, but a Boar Rider could also benefit from that. But yeah, I definitely like this. We're gonna have to see, however, how much of a pain in the ass this guy is actually gonna be. But from the gist of it, it sounds balanced on paper. And, but yeah, that's more stuff the Corruption has that I don't like. I don't want to face against this thing. But it's a legendary, yeah. Okay, so it's a legendary, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now we're talking. We have a Fallen Angel, which is Order Corruption. Angelic Emanation comes to mind, obviously, which is also Order Corruption. So if you run Angels, you're probably not gonna run Angel of Retribution, because, you know, the rage threshold. Or actually, wait, hold on. I haven't played Angels for a long time, so I'm not too sure on this. So let me check this real quick. You may put an Angel card among them onto the field. Okay, so you could run Angel of Retribution. You just have to be lucky enough to actually hit it with Angelic Call. If you have bad reception, you're not gonna play it. But if you draw it, you just basically use it like a Valley of the Ancients. Just discard it and hit it with Angelic Emanation. So you can play Angel of Retribution. I'm gonna call it Right to Hell Retribution, probably. You can play Right to Hell Retribution in Angels. You just have to hit it with Angelic Call. Or you just go 3 colors, which definitely you shouldn't do. But yeah, Fallen Angel works perfectly fine. This is definitely going to be in every Angel deck, even though no one really plays Angel, because apparently they are out of the meta. They don't do anything at the moment. But just wanted to point this out. SpellweaverDB.com, they have basically every deck that Spellweaver has to offer, but I don't think that they actually have a Angels list. Little heads up for Vanguard X right there. Fallen Angel, 1 order, 1 corruption, 3 mana, 2/2, 3 speed, which is pretty good. Obviously, speed is something that Angels lack, even though it's 2 speed, so they're definitely better off than zombies, that's for sure. You can embody this as well. And I think the Angelic Emanation, yeah, you can play Angelic Emanation and get a Enchained Soul on the board, and you can use this to embody Fallen Angel, or you can also embody the Angelic Emanation, I think, which is definitely Angelception in that case. Whenever another creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life to put a Might Emblem on Fallen Angel. You can cheese this a little bit. Yeah, if you have Enchained Souls, which obviously you can get. Obviously, Haunt has been severely nerfed, since it only gives you one Enchained Souls instead of the typical 2 before the nerf. You can definitely get a good amount of Enchained Souls, so you only have to pay 1 life to put a Might Emblem on it. And it definitely makes sense that this thing isn't life-bound because it would just negate the fact that you have to pay 2 life and it would be too OP. So yeah, 2/2 3-speed Angel. Pretty good. Pretty good. I like this one. And as I've stated, you know, this is definitely going to see play in Angels. And maybe Angels even going to make a comeback just with Fallen Angel and to a certain degree Angel of Retribution. However, in Angel stacks, Angel of Retribution probably only 2, maybe 3 copies. Possibly, I would say 2. Just because you don't go for Rage and you have to get it with Angelic Hall, as I've stated. Well, the next one that also is a card that has been leaked in Discord is Wall in the North, which is a... how's it even called? An ancient card. Because it's only 1 random aspect, costs 2 mana, it's a legendary, and it's a 5/0 wall. Do we have... It feels like Winds of Hell. Okay, I get the meme, but something Trump-related would probably been a little bit better. 5/0, 1 speed. As long as wall is on your front line, enemy creatures can't attack targets other than walls. Why is there a plural? You can only have 1 wall because it's a legendary. Anyways, whenever a creature engages in combat with Wall in the North, you may pay 1 energy to freeze that creature. Obviously, you can't... you can only use it once. Unless, of course, you have something that gives you energy, but... Okay, so, yeah. For 1 random 2 mana, definitely, once again, this is gonna diminish aggro quite a bit. And if aggro is in the current meta, then Wall in the North, since it's an ancient spell, since it's not bound to any specific color, I can see this being played like maybe 2 offs. I think that's the most. 2 offs to just diminish aggro a little bit to gain control of the board, and then also to freeze creatures, which is pretty damn good. So in Wisdom decks that also rely on, no, not rely, but that have the ability to give cards energy, this could definitely be a good thing. Good addition. And yeah, it doesn't say like that it can't gain energy, so good thing, definitely. The only thing that I'm afraid of, by the way, even though I haven't encountered any Derailed Silencers, the shittiest card that has ever been released, I haven't seen any Silencers since the nerf. Maybe like once or twice in Masters, but that also was like 2 or 3 Masters ago, actually. The only thing that I'm afraid of is that this thing can be used, number 1, for Silencer-based decks, because, you know, it's also Wisdom. But it can also be used, also a thing that I haven't seen in years, however, in 1-turn heal decks. Because this one screams stalling. So, in this case, by the way, if you play against Stallion, just put Wall in the North in your deck and you basically win by default. Next thing, we have Primal Battle, another ancient card. This one, however, so far we have only had creatures. Now we go on to spells. Primal Battle, 2 random, 1 mana, ancient. Choose an enemy creature and an allied creature. Each of those creatures deals damage equal to its attack to the other. The purest and most ancient form of proving one's worth. Definitely a good thing. Sounds a little bit like Rune of the Blades at the beginning, because, you know, you drop the creature and then you do damage to it. But you can't cheese it too much. What I definitely, where I definitely can see this card is obviously in conjunction with Shadow Step Assassins. You know, just in late game also, just drop that, use Primal Battle and deal with the creature. You also have the ability, obviously, to do it with Rune of Blades, which has seen some play lately. As well as, yeah, you know, just what comes to mind mostly is like the Dominion cards. Also like the Spoiled Aristocrat, which deals 3 damage, which is definitely nothing to be trifled with. And the other cool thing is that it isn't bound to a front line. So you can, let's say you have the ultimate scenario, you are a little bit behind, the enemy plays a Sexibus on the support line, obviously. You just have to drop, yeah, you just have 2 mana for this, actually. 2 mana, 2 aspects. You play a Spoiled Aristocrat, Primal Battle, 3 damage to the Sexibus, easy. Pretty good, I like this. So more interaction also with the support line with this card is definitely guaranteed. Good stuff, definitely. And, you know, since it's ancient, it's not bound to any specific color. So, yeah, you can play this anywhere, just like with Marked by the Gods. So, yeah, also a card that you can play in or splash in basically any deck just because of the fact that it's ancient. Next one, we have Powershot. Once again, by the way, artwork. Especially in this one. I love it. And it seems, by the way, that this is actually from one... yeah, it seems like this is from one drawing. It's from Luciano Fleitas, and I think this one is from the right side of the drawing. I haven't seen it. And this one is on the left side of the drawing, because it definitely seems that way if you look at the background right here. However, Powershot looks pretty damn awesome. Another ancient card. It's one random aspect, 2 mana. And this is what you get. You choose a creature with energy you control. This turn it has 1 energy. This creature deals 1 damage to an enemy creature. And as a play boost, the chosen creature gains 2 energy if you pay 2 life. Okay, so yeah, but it doesn't deal like 2 damage in this case. So paying life and invoking things seems to be a little bit of the thing that they're, or a little bit of the theme that they were going with. So Powershot, deal 1 damage to an enemy creature. Why not play this with Dust Titan? That's the first thing that comes to mind, obviously. You have to choose a creature, so you can't put it on the Unstable Reactor. But yeah, definitely this one, the first thing that comes to mind, and it comes to mind for everyone, I think, is obviously the Dust Titan. If you choose to pay 2 life and gain 2 energy, definitely a good thing for the Dust Titan, because you can also just use your use the Dust Titan to shock another creature, or exhaust one, which is pretty damn good, obviously. So in Grand Meme Union, this is a thing. Everything that runs Dust Titan, everything that runs mana. So you can also use this on Rune-Lit Incarnate, which was in a deck in the last Masters, which was pretty damn cool. So yeah, basically everything that has energy definitely benefits from that. Good thing. Good stuff. And again, by the way, it deals 1 damage aggro. Next one, we have Arcane Summoning, another card that has been leaked in Discord. An ancient card, and not again 1 random, 2 mana, and you get to choose 1, also as a play boost. Put an artifact or spell with level 2 or less on the top of its owner's deck. Okay. Invoke a non-creature invocation spell. A non-creature invocation spell. So basically, wait, is this? No, this isn't invoke. Do we have any non-creature invocation spell? Are there spells that does it mean that there are? Nah, that can't be. That, like, I don't get this sentence. Invoke a non-creature invocation spell. Oh, are invocation spells? Is that a thing? So basically, you can invoke. So for this one, you need to have 10 or less life. But if you don't want to do that, you can just play Angel of Retribution and then use Arcane Summoning to invoke it. I think that's how it works. Should be, because from what I've thought is that you invoke a spell, and I don't see any spells that are like invoke spells. Know what I mean? I haven't seen anyone here, and I don't see anything here. So I think also for this one, you need to have a ranged creature, but if you use Arcane Summoning on the Sisterhood of Flames, it just gets invoked right away. That's what I gather from this. I think that's the thing. And if you pay for the play boost, play Arcane Summoning immediately a second time if you pay 2 mana, so you can invoke 2 creatures for 4 mana. I think that's how it works. I think they mean you can invoke it, you know, without the threshold, but with this card basically. Or put an artifact or spell with level 2 or less on the top of its owner's deck. Basically a little bit like Eleanor, to a certain degree. So yeah, could also be ran in 1-turn heal. For some reason I always think about decks that no one really plays anymore at the moment, because it doesn't really fit in the current meta. But level 2 or less is basically the... are there even any spells that are level 3 or 4? There might... yeah. Oh, you can get a... God damn it, I forget the names of the cards all the time. How's it called? Hold on. I get to it. I just have to look for... I can... oh yeah, there we go. Tombs of the Damned, of course, yeah. Now that I actually accidentally wrote TO, you can actually get Tombs of the Damned, level 2 spell, obviously, right on top of the deck if you're a little bit behind. So, but even though that's not really the problem in the first place for zombies, that they don't get the tombs usually, but that can help with it. You can get a Fireball if you want to go for lethal. You can get Fire Blast. Basically, any spell in the book that is really in the meta currently, you can get with Arcane Summoning, which helps out for 2 mana, nonetheless. And you can play it a second time, even if you want to invoke or search for another spell. Even though, of course, that wouldn't make sense, because, you know, it's on top of your deck. You still have to draw it. So the play boost, you only probably want to play if you want to use these 2. Like, not one... Yeah, you can invoke twice, that would make sense. But it wouldn't make sense to... And well, it kind of would make sense, because, if you then use your spell to draw, you get that, and then the next turn you draw the one that is on your deck that you Arcane summoned before, if you get what I mean, you know? They are on top of each other, basically, so would kind of make sense. I mean, what you can do is you can get Word of Grace, for instance, and then you use your shrine to draw Word of Grace. And then you use Word of Grace, it draws you a card, and then you draw the card that you got with Arcane Summoning beforehand. Pretty good card. Can make for some pretty cool shenanigans, obviously. And overall, I would say even also good card draw. And, again, lets you manipulate top deck. Arcane Summoning lets you put an artifact or spell. So yeah, okay, it's not like with Grim Abomination, you know? That you can, like, discard it right away. But of course... it's good. It's good to see that you can actually manipulate top deck a little bit. And next one, I think that's by far, from all the things that we have seen, at least so far, this one was my number 1 pick for best artwork in this update. This one would be the second place, but it all shifts place for this one. This one is my number 1 favorite artwork. Alexander Nanichkov, obviously. Fateful Day. This card looks awesome. I fucking love this artwork. It's crisp. 3 random, so it's an ancient card. 3 random aspects, 4 mana, legendary. Now I want to see some good stuff. At the end of your turn, the life of each... Okay, these cards have been granted the ability to get in the game with the blessings of the balance team. At the end of your turn, the life of each hero becomes 10. Does that mean if you had 1 HP, you can get back to 10? Or you can go back up to 10 with this? Not sure. At the start of your turn, pay 1 energy. If you can't... Oh, okay, that's all it does. If you can't destroy Fateful Day. I just wanted to skim right through if I just missed out on any flavor text for the cards. Nah, I didn't so far. Oh, right here. Where raw strength is not enough, there is always trickery. And for this one, we don't have anything. But for Fateful Day, suddenly Yorek was all alone in a surreal orange-red haze. A sense of certainty that everything would be decided in this very moment and emerged in his mind. Okay. Okay, so... this one is a card that is designed, I would say, to deal with life gain, I think. Because if the enemy runs priests or even heal million, which is usually the thing that you run with priests, you can, let's say he has like 38 HP, he would win next turn, and obviously that's late game, you know, priests and heal million needs a little bit of they need mid to late game where they can really shine, obviously. Takes a little bit of time to set up, that's what I would try to say. And then you just play Fateful Day, they are at 38 HP, play Fateful Day, right down to 10, and you're right back in the game. If you obviously have some cards left in your hand. And then you can deal with the creatures with Arcane Summoning, get some good spells in your hand. Or on top of your deck at the very least. But Fateful Day, legendary, definitely makes sense. And... okay, it doesn't make sense to... yeah, it doesn't make sense to actually feed it energy, because once you play it, it's a blessing. We're gonna have to see about that. But, yeah, the thing is, why would you consider feeding this mana. I mean, or energy. I mean, yeah, of course, from the unstable reactor to prevent it from blowing up, yes. But other than that, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Because it doesn't make sense to have it on the board, because, you know, it just... It Oh no, at the end of your turn... Oh! At the end of your turn. So every time... Is it every time... that... Every time this thing is on the board, the life gets back to 10? Demons, my boys. Wisdom, demons, goddammit. Grim Abomination. The one guy, you don't even have to play the Armin, the demon overlord. No, you just play Fateful Day. Then you have the Grim Abomination, and then you have Wisdom that can feed this thing with energy all the time. I mean, it's a legendary, you know, you can have like 4 copies of this, maybe 3, maybe 2. 3 probably might be the best. It's a spell, so it can get destroyed, obviously, mostly due to Ray of Righteousness that comes to mind. But yeah, if you feed this energy, you get back to 10 mana, to 10 life every time. This is a stall card, definitely. So play Fateful Day and play Wall in the North, and you win every game against Stallion in that matter. Fateful Day, awesome card. It's gonna be interesting to see this being played in Masters, and definitely which decks this thing is getting run in. Because, you know, you have to consider, obviously, the current meta. There is not much heal million going on at the moment. But, maybe demons could run this, obviously. But I would like to see the prominent decks that, Fateful Day, that actually runs Fateful Day. That's gonna be interesting to see which decks rely on this. This could be fun with, Apocalypse. If you think about it, if we make some, not like the one that doesn't run any creatures at all. I tried to play it and it was garbage. And actually, I can't remember. It was like 2 masters ago where one guy played it. The fuzz also, we've all seen it. The player made a miscalculation and actually ended up killing himself with Apocalypse. But Apocalypse in conjunction with Fateful Day, obviously it requires a shit ton of mana. But yeah, this could be fun. This could be a one hell of a ride. Fateful Day, and also, as I've stated so far, definitely my absolute favorite artwork. And for this, by the way, I just can't get over the fact, but I think this, yeah, okay, I think this is a mask, because, okay, now I see it. It looks like, for a second, it looked like this one was the neck of this guy, and that kind of freaked me out right here. It's a little bit with the Keanu Reeves picture that we had in Discord once. Crip. He's a gang member. Crip, the last gatekeeper. 3 mana. Again, wisdom, corruption, legendary. Fuck me silly. I just saw that. 8/8 2 speed. What is this? Okay, this one better have some severe downsides. Demon in... It's a fucking demon that you can... It's a demon that you can pay for... 2 mana. If you have the portal out, 2 mana, 2 aspects, you can invoke this shit. I guess that's how it works. With Arcane Summoning. Ifko, what are you doing here? Flying. Even worse. Enemy creature must attack each turn if able. Jesus Christ. Crip. Does it also work if he's just an invocation and not like invoked yet? I think. Doesn't state it right here, but I think. Crip can attack or block up to 2 additional targets. If you have 10 or less life at the end of your turn, invoke a Crip. So I think you can invoke this guy with Arcane Summoning. I think that's what he means with invoke a non-creature invocation spell. I think, because I don't see any spells that you have to invoke. But a non-creature invocation spell. That's the weird wording right here. Yeah, and in the comments let me know actually what this means. Because these are creature invocations. Which is kind of weird. So, okay, maybe we can assume that we can't use it with Arcane Summoning. But 3 mana, ultimately 2 if you run Portal. How is this balanced? Yeah, I mean, you need to have 10 or less life, but this guy is an 8/8, 2 speed, can block up to 2 additional targets. You can play, now I forgot the fucking, I forgot the name again, Trigon. You can play Trigon for Order. Was it Order? No, for Nature, Wisdom. And then obviously go up whoop, I was right there. You can play Trigon for for Wisdom and Nature, and then play Mantle of the Winds to make him 3 speed. I mean, he's flying in the first place. I think it's Mantle of the Winds that actually gives you like +1 speed, or the creature +1 speed. You do that, he's a 3 speed, 8/8 flying. Enemy creatures must attack each turn if able. It's fucking awesome. He can block up to 2, can attack and block up to 2 additional targets, which is awesome. And you can play this with Wall of the North also. You just freeze everything, and then you attack into them with Crip. Why is he only 3 mana and 2 aspects? I mean, yeah, as I've stated, like you need to have 10 or less life, but I mean, big fucking deal. You can freaking invoke Angel of Retribution. And then, you know, get the life back by being life bound. Maybe the 10 life kinda helps to make him balance, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about this one. I'm pretty sure there are some people that can actually make this card that reveal that this card is gonna be OP as hell in the state he is right now. But apparently, you know, it came through the balanced team, so they don't see a problem with this. But it just seems way too cheap for what it does. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a legendary, but still, it's way too cheap for what it does, in my opinion, at least. And next one, we have the Nightmare Stallion with, once again, freaking insane stats. 4/3, 3 speed. Damn! 3 mana. Corruption, Dominion. When Nightmare Stallion, Beast Invocation again, when Nightmare Stallion enters the field, search a hero's deck for 3 non-primary cards with different names and put them under Nightmare Stallion. That's interesting. When a hero plays a card with the same name as a card under Nightmare Stallion, invoke Nightmare Stallion. Okay, so you can basically lock the enemy out of the game a little bit, because if he plays one card that you have under Nightmare Stallion, you have to deal with a 4/3/3 speed, which is definitely something that's nothing you can take lightly. But you can obviously also just use some of your cards to make sure that you actually activate it. So you can either lock the enemy out of the game, or you can decide for yourself when you want to invoke Nightmare Stallion. I like this. That's a pretty cool card. 4/3/3 speed. That's gonna be some fun. Especially it's just as it's the same cost basically as Crip, same aspect and mana cost at least. But I don't see Nightmare Stallion being as OP as Crip, the Last Gatekeeper. This thing just, I don't know. It just screams, please nerf me, because I'm gonna wreck everyone, to me at least. And we know how obnoxious Wisdom Corruption, how fucking obnoxious that deck is. And again, it's a demon. And we have another Wisdom. Did we have another? Yeah, we have another Wisdom Corruption demon with Grim Abomination. So we're gonna have to see if blue demons is actually gonna become a thing. And then we also have Arcane, obviously, the Wingless. 4/4. It's not a demon, it's a dragon. But you can also run that. But definitely, like, Corruption got some, not weird, but again, some pretty damn insane cards have been added to the Corruption archetypes. But also, you know, Slave Hunter is also pretty good. But also some good counters, obviously, with the ancient spells, mostly, that we have right here. A little bit of love for the good side of things, obviously, but you have to splash in the evil aspects with Sister of the Flames. Love that card. Angel of Retribution is pretty damn good. Woodland Revenant in conjunction, because, you know, it is nature corruption. This is going to be in Hate Bears, right alongside Plague Borders and Plague Crabs. And this one is going to be a pain in the fucking ass for any enemy to play against, and I fucking love it. This is going to be some fun with zombie invocations alone. I'm looking forward for this. I'm looking forward for next Masters, where we definitely are going to see some of these cards. Probably not all of them, but some of them. And as I've stated, we have a lot of things that actually counter that counter and sort of diminish Rage Rush at this point. Zombie Invocation is going to do a lot of work with 3 speed, 2 damage. You can invoke it right out of the graveyard as well when you are dealt damage. Yeah, okay, you can invoke it right away, which is a cool thing. Sisterhood of Flames, gonna see some play. I'm pretty sure about that. Even though, you know, Nature Rage, it can see play in the archetype that runs the Hydra, which no one really plays. Is it even called Hydra? It has been a while, and I haven't really played it myself. Let me check that real quick. I think it was a Hydra. It wasn't a Hydra. How is it called then? It was I think it was this combination right here. Chimera, right? Chimera was the thing. Chimera of the Wild. Yeah, that's also Nature Rage, so I can see it. What is it? A Manticore, right? The same thing that this guy right here has, that no one played. The only one that actually played this creature was me. Otriska is also a Manticore. So we only have 2 of these. I need more Manticores in the game, by the way, so I can make a Manticore-themed deck. Just wanted to throw that out. But yeah, in this deck... That was the wrong. In this deck, I definitely can see this being a thing. Other than that, definitely Primal Battle is gonna be something that the minion runs. I just think about Shadow Step Assassins. I mean, yeah, you have Rune of Blades, but still, you don't. It's a cooldown of 2 to 3 turns, I think. So if you need it, you can play Shadow Step Assassin with this, or the Spoiled Aristocrat, which makes sense. Also, maybe even an Elder Red Dragon. And the thing is, you don't... Yeah, the creatures... It doesn't say that the creatures are exhausted afterwards, so you can still go face with the creature that you used Primal Battle on, if the creature obviously survived. And, you know, it's also more interaction between the front line and the support line, which is pretty cool. Powershot, obviously more for energy-themed decks, I think. Arcane Summoning is going to see some play. Maybe two offs is the most that I can see it actually in. If you have an Invoke-themed deck, which is a little bit hard to pull off because they are like scattered all over the place. They are not like one specific color. Like basically every color got an invocation creature at some point. But yeah, I still write in the comments. Non-creature in invocation spells. I want to know what this is. Because I don't see any spells that are invoke spells. That's the thing. Oh, invocations. I'm a fucking idiot. Now I got it. Okay, everyone, delete it out of the comments. Of course. It means... Okay, now I got it. What Arcane Summoning does is... Let's say you have an Angel of Retribution out. And you use Arcane Summoning on the Angel of Retribution, and it lets you deal 2 damage to an enemy creature or hero. Again, that's what it means. Now, okay. Okay. Now I understood it. So this one, okay. Wait. Yeah, it should be that. It should be that. Because it doesn't make sense for it to trigger at 10 or less life, because it wouldn't do anything. So I think you can deal additional 2 damage to an enemy creature or hero, or for Sisterhood of Flames, you can deal an additional 2 damage to an enemy creature. Okay. Doesn't do anything with Slave Hunter from what I see. Oh yeah, you can. If it means that you can like get another attack another creature and then, but you still take damage. But yeah, a little bit iffy here. Doesn't do anything with that. Doesn't do that's not an invocation in the first place. That one isn't either. This one doesn't really make sense. Can he deal damage or block up to 4 additional targets if you use Arcane Summoning? I don't think so. Okay, when he enters the field, so that's not an invocation thing. So okay, it doesn't seem to do anything with Nightmare Stallion as well, but mostly with Angel of Retribution and Sisterhood of Flames. I think that's the thing right here. Fateful Day, definitely. Maybe 1 or 2, it depends on the meta, obviously. Maybe 1 offs, 2 offs at the most for almost every deck. because just to make sure that you don't get run down by elves and or rage rush. So you know it comes back to 10 life at your turn every time. So you can basically also gain life with this, which is pretty damn good. And if you run wisdom and have some energy based list, Fateful Day, why not? Why not? And then of course Dragon Assault, I can see this being splashed in for Rage Corruption, obviously just to gain board control, because it's just basically just like a Cataclysm, obviously. Crip is definitely gonna see some play. Blue Demons, I can see this become a thing. And Nightmare Stallion, I definitely want to make like Corruption Dominion thing just to play Nightmare Stallion, because just from the way you play this opens up so many possibilities, and I really love this. I really love this card. The problem obviously is that it has to be 3 different cards, which means that obviously you lose 1 card. So if that's also good. If the enemy just has a 1-off of any spell, oh well, it has to be a creature. No, it doesn't. Yeah, you can also put spells and artifacts and whatnot under this. So if the enemy just has a 1-off of any like kind of spell or artifact or whatnot, you can also put it on the Nightmare Stallion just to make sure that he doesn't play it. Pretty good, pretty good. Nightmare Stallion is something that I definitely like, and I'm gonna work around to actually make a deck just based on the Nightmare Stallion. Just because, as I stated, it's just so fucking cool. And it's not legendary, so you can have multiple one on the field. And again, it's a 3-speed, and 3-speed creatures definitely get my seal of approval. Alright, and that was the December card releases, my friend. The December release package, 15 cards in total. Obviously, no heroes have been added with this one. You can get it with in-game currency of 600,000 gold that you can get just by playing the game and just by completing quests on the front page right here, or you open up your wallet. Hold on a second, I'm clicking on all the wrong things right here. Or you just open up your wallet and pay 2,400 crystals. Don't get the default one, by the way, because it's about like 120 bucks, I think. If you decide to play it with crystals, support the developers a little bit, it is a little bit less than 30 bucks. Well, 29.90, because you have to get this thing right here. With a little bit of a discount, you also get 2 normal packs, so, you know, why not? But this has been it, my friends. That was the winter holiday Fiesta update that is currently being held in Spellweaver. And it comes at the right time, because, you know, if you get the December release package, you spend 600,000 gold, and as you have seen, from me, you get about 24 of these gift things, and you know, I also mentioned in the beginning what you can get out of these gift boxes, so definitely make sure to get the December card back, the December card releases, open up your presents, and with that being said, that was my last video in Spellweaver for this year, for the year 2018. So with that being said, maybe I'm gonna play like 1 or 2 games. We're gonna have to see. Gonna be a little bit busy in the last couple of days, but yeah, we're gonna see. If this is the last video of Spellweaver in 2018, I definitely want to thank each and every one, by the way, out there for watching Spellweaver Ranked and every other Spellweaver related video. I hope you enjoyed the content. 2019 is gonna be, obviously, it's not gonna stop playing Spellweaver. Spellweaver is gonna be gonna play a core role on this channel, as it has always been. And yeah, just gonna hope you enjoy your holidays. Hope you're gonna have a great new start into the new year. And yeah, then I'll see you. And then, by the way, let me know in the comments below, obviously, from this release, let's check this again, which card you like the most, which interaction you like the most, what you think about invocations, and if I actually understood what this means correctly, because yeah, at the beginning I wasn't really sure, but I think I got it now. And also which card artwork you like the most out of all of these. And out of all of these, Nightmare Stallion also looks pretty damn awesome, I gotta say. But if I had to choose, it's gonna be Fateful Day. That's just the absolute best artwork that we had out of all of them, if you ask me. And the cool thing also is we have apparently also a new guy that also gives us Woodland Revenant also looks pretty good. If I had to rate it, I would say Fateful Day is definitely rank 1. Second one, probably the Nightmare Stallion, and then Woodland Revenant, and then Sisterhood of Flames. That's the ones that I definitely like the most. And then Slave Hunter also. Slave Hunter also looks pretty damn cool. But yeah, apparently we also have another guy that also draws artwork. Luciano Leitas. Definitely make sure to check this guy out. Just look him up on Google and maybe ArtStation, DeviantArt or something. He should be home there, I guess. Joshua Lockwood also with the wall in the north. So definitely also thanks to everyone who contributed these insane artworks, especially for this one. Like also Powershot looks fucking insane. Maybe I'm gonna make like one of this my profile picture somewhere in the internet. But yeah, as I've stated, that was it. Let me know what you think about invocations, what you think about the cards, which card you like the most, which interactions you like the most, and what artwork you like the most, obviously. Would be pretty interesting to see if everyone agrees with me, with Fateful Day being the absolute best out of all of them. Not to diminish the other ones, obviously. But yeah, that was it for Spellweaver in the year 2018, probably. So again, hope you're all gonna enjoy a great holiday. Hope you're gonna have a great start in the new year, and maybe next year, Masters. Maybe we're gonna make it, we're gonna see. Probably not, but especially considering that I don't have any idea how to, in which decks I would actually implement the new cards. We have to wait for Spellweaver DB and for the next Masters, I think, to actually get a hold, or get a general idea of how we want to, or how in which deck archetypes these decks are gonna find their home in. With that being said, again, hope you have an awesome holiday. Hope you're gonna have a great new start in the new year, and I see you in the next year and in the next Spellweaver related video.